So guys, we are back on this 2014 Crosstrek that we just saw a couple of weeks ago for an issue with the AC system. We went a completely different direction and found some issues that the customer was not aware of, and it boiled down to a common issue with the HVAC control unit and a borrowed pigtail from AC Delco. This is a common failure point on 2014 and later Crosstrek, Impreza, WRX, STI, and Forester models. With that said, let's go ahead and get into the video, get into the repair, and get this car back on the road once again. So now that we're in the vehicle, the issue at hand, it can fail a couple of different ways, but this is what we have for right now. So fan speed 1 works, 2 works, 3 works. When we go to 4, cuts out. Now in the previous video, we pulled out this control unit and looked and saw that the control unit and the pigtail were burnt on the inside, which we'll see in a minute when we pull this all apart to do the replacement of this control unit and the pigtail, which we have right here, our new control unit. This is a part number 72311FJ050, and our center plug there was what was burnt for the fan speed. And as I mentioned in the previous video, you can get this connector from iWire, or you can get it from AC Delco in AC Delco part number PT2187, easily available on Amazon. The issue here is that the AC Delco connector, emergency pigtail, comes with 6 white leads on it, so you can't match up your colors on the Subaru pigtail. You got to be very careful in wiring it, but that's the only difference. I believe the iWire has the correct color coded wires that Subaru uses in their factory harness. That Subaru does not make this pigtail available as a repair part. It is only sold as the entire harness, which is expensive and a pain in the butt to change out. So let's go ahead and get into this repair. To talk you through a little bit what we're going to do before we do it, on these manual HVAC controls, there's 2 cables, 2 control cables. One controls temperature, one controls position. We'll go under the dashboard on either side. You got to pull the glove box out on the passenger side, but we'll see the control cable, and it's on a little peg with a little nodule on it. You push that little nodule in and then pull the slip of the cable right there, that ring off of it, and then there's a grommet that snaps this in place. You pop that off, and you're pretty much good to just go ahead and pull this panel out here. Then disconnect the pigtail for the 4-way hazards and the pigtail on the back of this HVAC control. There are 2 electrical pigtails. The main one there is a bare, especially if it's gotten hot and melted like ours, and the smaller one. And then you just got to fish the 2 cables out, and be careful fishing back into the dashboard on reassembly. So let's go ahead and get at it. All right, so starting off on our cables on the driver's side. Now I can probably show you this, but not show you actually taking it loose. That's why I kind of explained it to you outside of the vehicle. I don't think I can get my camera or tripod in here to show the actual pulling it apart. But that's what we're looking for right there. That cable and that white piece of plastic. I think my light is actually hurting us here, but there's that little notch up there. You push down, pull that loop of wire off, and then pop it out of that little holder. It's just a snap connector. That's all you gotta do on the driver's side to release it. So we got that cable released on the driver's side. We'll go over to the passenger side and do the same. Now for the passenger side, what we're gonna do is take the glove box out the same way as if we were going after the cabin air filter. You pull this little extension rod off of here. This one's broken, so we're not gonna pop it off, but it just pulls off in there. Then you press from either side, squeezing in the sides of the glove box, and pivot it down out of the way. So squeeze those sides, it'll pass by, and then you can pull it down off the hinge. Now you're gonna reach through this hole right here, and there is your secondary cable. Again, you'll push that little notch in, pull the eyelet off of the peg, and pull this part out of the clip. And just like that, we have released the cable on this side. Now we can pull the control unit forward and release those pigtails for the electrical connections. So now all we got to do is go in and pry this panel up. As these cars get older, it is a little bit easier to get this stuff to come loose. So the first one we need to get loose is the pigtail up here for the 4-ways for the hazard light. Just press it in, a little tab, and wiggle the pigtail out of the switch. Free that. Gives a little more room to pull forward. You might need to help coax your cables through, or you can reach your pigtail on either side. I'll pull this pigtail loose like so. And this center one can be a real pain in the butt, especially the first time you take it loose, especially if it got hot and partially melted. There's a release tab on the top. It's kind of hard to see, but you push it in and wiggle it off of there. You might need a pocket screwdriver or something to help you, or a pair of electrical disconnect pliers. This one is a real pain in the butt. But it came off a lot easier the second time than the first time when it was melted all together. Now we just gotta fish our cables free. They get caught on everything, and we're out. Now, as I showed in the last video, there's that burnt pin on the connector and our burnt up wiring harness on the pigtail right there. So we got our new pigtail and our new connector, or our new module here, ready to go. So the first step is to get the module out. Is 4 JIS cross type screws on the corners to take the module out of this fascia, and we'll get that out and swap the new one in its place, and we'll get to work on placing that pigtail. So the new HVAC controller is switched over. Like I said, very easy to do, just the 4 screws, and there are 2 little clips up here you just prop on and pop out. So now that that's done, no more scorch marks there. Go ahead and get this connector out and get to replacing it. So now that we got the pigtail kit opened up, you see all the wires are white and they're extremely long. We have 6 sealed splice connectors here. The way they want you to fix it, rather than soldering, we pulled off our electrical tape to expose our wires. So we'll cut them back, match up pretty much the length of the white wires, hook colors to colors or colors to connector slots. Go ahead and crimp all these in place and then heat them until glue comes out of the ends. These are sealed connectors. So you put the wire on either side, crimp either side, and then heat till the glue expands and leaks out the ends to seal the connection. Better than a regular crimp connector and more solid than just soldering, especially for something of this gauge and that amount of power going through it. All right, now we've cut the connector off. Now it's just a matter of matching our colors to their correct position, since we all have whites in the new pigtail. But they are a little bit larger diameter, so hopefully will prevent it from cooking this connector and the control box in the future. So all we gotta do now, like I said, match them up, crimp them, and heat them. Now I gotta admit, this doesn't look great, but that is the way the GM says to repair it. I know this is a Subaru, but it's a GM repair part. So we got them all crimped in place. All of our colors are matched up per our old pigtail. Now all we gotta do is get the torch out and melt these things, and we'll get some electrical tape and rewrap this harness, make it look a little neater and tidier, and we're ready to button it back up and make sure everything's working as it should now. All right, everything is nice and torched now. These things take a lot of heat, a lot more than I figured they would, to melt and get the glue to come out and seal. Did scorch the insulation just a hair, but is not through it, so should not be an issue there. Again, this does not look very pretty, but some tested tape, electrical tape over it will make it look neat again. So we'll go ahead and let this cool, wrap it, and reassemble. Harness is all cooled. We got it all wrapped again and protected. So let's go ahead and pop this control panel back in, pop our cables on, test it, and call the customer. Let's go ahead and try to feed our cables in, which will be the most difficult part now that they're new and they're not pre-flexed and not going back to the original location they have been sitting in for the last 11 years. We kind of get them going halfway in the direction they're supposed to. Come in here and plug up our main connector we just repaired. Our secondary connector. Plug in our hazard switch before we forget that. And guide ourselves on in, making sure our cables are landing in the right location or close enough to it. It feels like they are. So we'll go ahead and line up our ductwork at the top. Press in. And we are good. Now to hook up our cables and test it. We'll grab our little cable here, slide it into its slot. It's nice and stiff, so you might need a little more pressure or a screwdriver to help push it into its little location until it clicks all the way. And we'll put our little eyelet back on for our temperature control. And we are in. Now to put our white cable on in the driver's side. We'll save putting the glove box in until we confirm everything works. But this is our temp control. We'll spin it. And we got full range of motion on that. Back on the driver's side, there's our cable. We just got to pop it back into its home up here. And we're all over set over here. Go ahead and turn the knob. Make sure all our positions work. And we're good. Now all we got to do is test. Speed 1, speed 2, speed 3, and speed 4. Back functioning as it should. Now we can go ahead and pop in the glove box. Which again, all you got to do is line up your hinge and pop it into place. And if your tension rod actually works, you would pop it back on now, but we got to fish it back in the hole and pop it on. It just pops on and off just that easy. So test our glove box. It flops because that tension rod and that peg are broken. So we're all set. Gonna call the customer, tell them it's ready to pick up. So guys, there you have it. Quick, easy DIY on fixing issues with your fan speed for your blower motor in your Impreza, Crosstrek, WRX, STI, and Forester models with this style of manual HVAC control. If you got issues where you only have the fan blowing on certain positions and not all of them, be sure to pull out the control unit and pull out this pigtail and see if you've got any damage, see if you've got any melted pins or a melted connector. Could be an easy fix just like this. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for future Subaru and tool content. I'll see you guys in the next one.